wonder why the times of the day that are the slowest traffic is called rush hour. Alright, we're back. We're going to start working and getting the new LS in. Tonight I'm working on pulling all the accessories off. We'll get the valve covers off and probably the engine mounts. Just a few of the items coming off of this so that we can put them on, officially revealing the new, this is an LS6 5.7 with aftermarket heads, rockers, springs, stage 4 cam from Texas Speed, oil pan on. Thank you to Dory. Dory got all the springs correct. I needed new keepers. So we're gonna start moving everything into this engine. Probably tomorrow I'll be back to drop it into the car. Tomorrow I'll put the transmission on and then get it back into the car at minimum. And then probably next weekend I'll work on the wiring and everything else. In theory, have it running next weekend. Spoiler, it was not running next weekend. But this is the way these projects go. You think it lasts 2 hours and it takes 12 hours. There's always something that doesn't line up correctly or something you find that you need to do, or putting the engine in even took much longer than I wanted to. Initially here you saw me, I just kind of wanted to get a few drops of oil on the new springs. Well, they're not new springs, but it was taken apart so that the springs could get leveled out the correct way. So I just wanted to get a little bit of oil on them so it wasn't super dry when I got to the first start. And then I put the valve covers on and the coil packs. I decided I didn't like how open the engine was with the intake ports open, so I just threw a little bit of tape on just so my clumsy self would not accidentally drop something in them. That would be miserable. I'd have to take the heads off, and I don't want to do work like that. So simple protection. And then I got on to getting the accessories on, got the water pump on pretty easy. And then got to the alternator. I'm using swap brackets from ICT Billet. And getting on the alternator, I fought with it for a while here because it was not lining up. The alternator was hitting the block too much. And then I finally remembered that I had to, for the last block, it's a thing with these alternators, you have to grind down a tiny section. It's minimal, it's very, very tiny. Doesn't really affect the block at all, so I just smoothed that out so that the alternator would fit on perfectly. And then I lost a lot of video of finishing putting the accessory drive on, as well as the video of me washing the block. I had built up oil and grime on the sides, so I sprayed it down with some Purple Power and washed it off, and it got pretty darn clean. I'm just showing here quick a little piece I install into the side of the block, and that's where the AccuSump will plumb right into the block. And then I got the engine mounts on, and you can see it's nice and clean on the sides there. So then it was time to finally get it off the engine stand and start putting on the transmission swap parts. I hammered in some new transmission alignment dowels and then quick tapped in the new pilot bushing. That is a pilot bushing for, I believe it was a 2001 Camaro. And then I had it machined out to 5/8 to accept the CD transmission. Next was putting on the transmission adapter plate, very quick and easy. And then the flywheel next. Clutch easily slipped on with the alignment tool, and then the pressure plate. Of course, then I tapped the camera and never noticed. Finally, time to mate the transmission up to the engine. Threw on just the driver's side exhaust manifold. It's a lot easier on now, and then it's I've done this a few times now, so it got pretty easy. Once you get kind of halfway in, you have to go back with a jack stand and get the transmission lifted up, but it slides in pretty easy. I took a quick measurement here. I was trying to get it centered in the engine bay, and I got pretty close. There we go, we're in. Took a little longer than I wanted to. I was trying to make sure it was centered, but with those motor mounts, let's see right there, motor mount is flat, leveled, and it's all the way this way, and this one is flat, leveled, and all the way this way in the slot. I would like the whole engine moved this way, but it's leveled and in, so I'm not entirely sure. It's not completely centered, but that just must be the way it is. I'm gonna have to do a little research tonight and try to figure out what's going on. But yeah, we're in. I'm so glad I cut this false firewall out. I'm gonna have much easier access to manifold bolts, spark plugs if I need. It's still very tight, but hey, it is what it is, right? The power steering pump pulley last time was way too far this way, and I didn't know what to do, so I just notched it out. And this time it seems to be more this way, which is what I want. But the engine seems to be farther back because now it's rubbing right. But you can kind of hear it when I spin it. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about that yet. Oh, okay, so that did that. Now I wonder if it's more centered, because when I pulled it forward, it's slightly moved. Let me grab a tape measure. I mean, it's really close to being centered, so I'm gonna take it. So one of the things I noticed is when I test fitted the new shifter, because I got the serial 99909 shifter, I don't like that. So that's new. The old shifter was obviously farther back. This one wants to be farther forward, which is fine. That's where I want the shifter. But now I guess I'm gonna have to notch this. So next episode will be fuel system. We're gonna do new injectors, and I have to adapt them to the stock fuel rails. We got in some special parts for the fuel tank. I don't want to talk about it till you can see it, but it's going to be really cool. We are switching the car to run on corn fuel. We're going to run E85. A little more power, runs cooler. All in all, it's just going to be better for a race car situation. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Stay rowdy, my friends.